As Nigeria looks towards a new era under the leadership of President Tinubu, it becomes crucial to evaluate the capabilities and effectiveness of his recently appointed advisors. This discussion aims to delve into the expertise and backgrounds of these advisors, analyzing how their unique skill sets align with the challenges Nigeria currently faces. Well, for more insight, we have Mr. Olaidebano, macroeconomic analyst, joins us to assess the competence of President Tinubu's economic advisors, especially with regards to unraveling a significant task that lied ahead for them in steering Nigeria towards progress and development. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Bano. We appreciate your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good morning. But just before we commence our conversation, let's quickly take you. There are 10 key 10 key tasks, and I title it iBrandTV 10 economic tasks ahead of the Tinubu's economic teams and his advisors. But we'll take a look at 4 today. Let's begin with this first one. First is sound policy formulation. How possible it can they formulate, or what capacity do they have in terms of policy formulation? So Nigerians will be watching to see the kind of policy formulation that will come from these set of advisors now, or ministers or executive members. Now, the Economic Council may be responsible in terms of policy formulation now to formulate and recommend economic policies to drive sustainable economic growth and development. This includes, of course, analyzing economic data, identifying key challenges, and proposing appropriate strategies and policies. Let's take a look at the second one. Second one, development planning. We need a development planning. If they must hit the ground running or make a difference, it's important that they take they take a look at what we call development planning. We need to see their plan. The council may be also involved in a long-term development planning. This also includes setting goals, formulating strategies for economic diversification. We need to look at infrastructure development. We need to look at human capital enhancement and development. So when it comes to economic development, if you want to, if you're developing your plan, you must capture human capital development. You must talk about strategies, talk about data and all of that. The next one has to do with job creation and employment. Now, how are they going to create jobs? That is the big question. Now, over 33% in terms of employment rate at the moment, and over 60 million Nigerians are jobless. Not to talk about underemployment. So the Economic Council, it will be focused, or will be demand to focus on initiatives and policies aimed at promoting job creation, reducing unemployment, and improving the employability of the workforce. This may involve identifying sectors with high employment and potential, and implementing programs to enhance skills and entrepreneurship, which is very, very key. And the fourth one, of course, is fiscal and monetary policy coordination. In the past administration, the fiscal and monetary policy coordination, according to most experts, was very poor because of the approach the monetary authority and the fiscal authority deploy in ensuring that they work together. And so the council under President Tinubu must work in terms of coordination with government's fiscal and monetary authority to ensure policy coherence and consistency. So this includes aligning fiscal policies, including government spending, taxation. Government must be also disciplined not to spend unnecessarily. You also talk about, when you talk about monetary policy, that also talks about interest rate, money supply, and all of that to achieve macroeconomic stability. So these, of course, are very, very key that we need to look at. So these are key. But the 6 points, of course, that we have highlighted will be unveiled later in our subsequent programs. But we'll focus on 4 today. So, Mr. Bano, thank you for joining us. So let's get started with some of the programs. Some of the questions here for you. Give me your take on some of the appointments he's made so far, especially with 8 economic advisors. More are still coming, but 8 has been unveiled. We have advisors in monetary policies, we have energy, we have in security, we have in political matters and intergovernmental affairs, we have in health as well. So do you think President Tinubu is getting it right with some of the people we are beginning to see in those positions?
To answer your question, I would say the president has made a very, very good decision in appointing those advisors, in the sense that the advisors they are well experienced in their various fields, which they have been appointed as special advisors. If you look at the special advisor on monetary policy, you look at Mr. Wale, which is a very experienced player, and also we all know that okay, the advisor, the monetary policy advisor, also served as a commissioner of finance in Lagos State during the president's tenure as governor of Lagos State then. So this is someone who has worked with him, who they understand each other, and also a very experienced person. And this man is also the chairman of one of the leading investment banking company in Nigeria. So the experience is there for him. So, but the one thing there is that okay, is to give the president the advice. Another thing is to go with the advice that he gives the president, because as we speak now, the position is being given to the special advisor is just to work to advise government on monetary policy. And if you look at the new national security advisor, Mr. Nuru Ribadu, who was the pioneer chairman of Economic and Financial Crime Commission system and the EFCC, he was well experienced when it comes to that particular position, when it comes to the anti-graft agency. Also, I would say he is one of the most performed chairman of EFCC during his tenure, between 2003 till now. So he's still one of the most performed. I will say even one of the. I would say the most performed out of the chairman of EFCC so far. These people are well experienced. If you look at also the woman he chose as a special advisor when it comes to energy, is also well experienced, and also has worked in one of the leading oil companies in Nigeria. So these people are well experienced, but by and large, we want them to the advice. Another thing is to go with the advice. And I believe the president, for him to make decision to appoint those people, he has definitely worked with them. He has definitely looked at them. You know that irrespective of the advice is being given to, he will definitely weigh it and also go along with it.
Okay. Now, let me come to you, Mr. Banu. But considering, yes, they have, they qualified in their own ranks. So, but considering the current economic challenges facing the country, do you think these advisors, do you think they can strike a balance between short-term measures for immediate relief and long-term strategies for sustainable economic development? And this is what I meant when I asked the question. At the moment, the impact of subsidy removal is still there, very, very germane, and to cushion the impact of that, that policy alone is an issue. They've not been able to fine-tune what exactly they can do. So do you think they can strike a balance between the short-term measures and long-term measures that will bring about sustainability when it comes to economic development?
One thing about solving a problem is that okay, look at the long-term benefits of solving that problem, which is removing the subsidy. They actually look at then. As the time comes, the shorter challenges will start coming in, which is the implication of subsidy removal on the citizen, which is okay going to increase inflation, the cost of things all around. As the problem comes, we know that okay, yes, the Labour has been talking with the government to say okay, yes, considering the hardship of that subsidy, of the subsidy removal, so which may end up to be just saying anyway, but it may end up to be a kind of increase in the minimum wage for the workers.